Hi, everyone. My name is Craig Watson. I'm the founder and CEO of Baked Cravings. And I get a lot of questions and people stopping in my store and friends that I know and people that want to open up bakeries or in general, just other businesses. And they're always asking me questions on what they can do, any suggestions I got, how do they get a business going and everything. And honestly, one of them had a good idea. They said, hey, if you don't mind, why don't you start creating some videos for us to look at? So we ask questions, we can just literally go through kind of like your journey. So I think that was a good idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally go through Baked Cravings breakdown in a sense. We started in 2017, so we've been open thus far about 8 years right now. And I'm going to literally go through our whole journey from the beginning. But I'm going to start now with our January 2025 numbers. And I'm going to fast forward, or I should say, I'm going to go all the way up to our current financials, let's say the end of July 2025. So if you join the channel, subscribe, like, and follow, you'll be able to see those videos. And when I'm done with that, I'm going to flash back all the way to 2017 and kind of walk you through our whole process. I'm going to provide you the financials, how it looked when we first opened, just some flash financials and just, some things that you could gather and take a look for your journey and some of the things that we got going on and certain things that I had to do to keep the business going and have it growing. It's not easy to have a small business and help it grow. You're going to go through a lot of things. There's laws changes, there's increases in rent, there's obligations you have, there's loans you take out, there's interest, there's all type of stuff. So I'm thinking with this information, hopefully it helps others and it also kind of serves as a history channel for us in a sense, so we can always look back at some of the things we have going. As I get more into it, I'll start breaking down, and getting really in depth in the things that we went through. Some of the activities, some are funny, some are my highlights, and some of them are growths, some of them are sad. But yeah, we'll get into it. So I just want to say that in the bakery business that we have and located in New York City, we're in the corner of 105th Street and Lexington Avenue. Our business for the bakery, our slow periods are January and essentially July and August. January because you're just coming off a holiday season and everyone's finally getting those credit card bills from Christmas and all the spending. And then July and August because a lot of people travel and they take vacations, and a lot of people honestly just don't want to put on the weight. They want to, try to look good for the summer. So there's going to be a lot of courtelling of eating sweets and things that may add on weight. We're a nut-free, peanut-free bakery, so we do a lot of stuff in New York City with the schools, with corporations, and just functions in general. We also deliver within northern New Jersey, all the boroughs of New York City, and some parts of Connecticut, and we also ship nationally. So I'm going to give you a breakdown of our setup, a sense. So we have a retail store in 106. We have a Shopify store, Baked Cravings with an S at the end, bakedcravings.com, where you can place orders for in-store pickup, online delivery, or you can also have us ship you products nationally within the United States. So we have our online sales, we have our store retail sales, and then we have we have a vending machine, and I'll show you some videos of those as we get more into this information that I'll be providing. Yeah, so we have the vending machine, and that's another source of revenue. Then we also do snacks for a theme park, and then that's another source of revenue that we were able to grow into. And then we also have our wholesale business, which is our CPG cookies, where we sell our packaged cookies to corporations through one of our distributors that we have. And we also do some stuff with JFK Airport and LaGuardia Airport. And we'll just, go through the numbers. And we'll just start, man. So for January the 31st, 2025, our total sales were 31,174. Of that, the online sales was 15,760. Our retail sales was 10,814. Our vending sales was 2214, and then our wholesale was 2385. Um, this is a typical, I would say, typically a slow month for us. We're normally hitting revenues of above 45 to 60,000 per month. But yeah, just coming into the new year, this is where we are. This is where we were. And then our cost of goods was 14,548. So when you subtract that out, sales minus the cost of goods, we had a gross profit of 16,626. Also, that gives us a margin of 53. Our bakers payroll is also included in that number. Some people put that information in their cost of goods, some people don't. If you don't place it in there and you place it down the expense, then the margin may be somewhere up in the 70s, which is typically good for a bakery, around the 70s, but we put our payroll in there. Um, our advertising expense for the month was 2,300. What do we advertise with? We do Google ads. Sometimes we do social media blasts, and we will advertise those as well. We also have in our advertising fees our website expense, and that came to $326 per month. That's mainly Shopify and then all the other apps that we have on there that helps run our website. Then we have our general expenses, and those was $5,002. And some of the major things that impacted that $5,000 was legal and professional services. We have an assistant that helps us out, a virtual assistant. She answers the phones for us. We have our phones ported. She answers the phones, handles emails, any questions, helps with social media blasts, email blasts, and that's $621 per month. Um, then we have our office supplies that rolls up into that number. We have our store administration. So those are people that kind of work within the storefront. That came to 1,513. Um, we're a small staff. We're not a big bakery. Our square footage is about, I'll say, around 650 square feet. We don't have seating in the retail store. We do place seats outside. Um, I'm hoping to insert some photos and videos so it makes more sense as you're seeing and hearing this. Um, yeah, and that kind of impacted that 5,000. Of that, then we move on to our total occupancy and maintenance expenses. That came to $7,914. Of that, the bulk of the expenses was our internet and telephone. That was $616. We do have several internet connections. We have two in our retail store. We have one on our vending machine, and we have some up at the theme park. And they basically, for our store, controls our POS, our telephone, our TVs, our printers. At the theme park, they basically connect to the security cameras we have there so they can be monitored for stock levels and obviously for theft. And then at the vending machine, which we have in the mall, Bergen Town Center Mall in Paramus, New Jersey, that uses to run through credit card transactions and also log into the machine so we can do sales and see what needs to be restocked. Also, this was pretty huge for this month. We had $1,123 in repairs. Of that, we had a water faucet repair. We had TVs installed in our windows. We had to pay to get those installed. And then we had a refrigerator repair. So 1,123 for repairs is kind of high. Typically, we're looking to keep that under 200 to 300 just off of normal repairs and maintenance. But for this particular month, it was kind of high. Our rent was $49.88. That's basically 4,300 at our store. And then we have some storage facilities which stores our packaged goods. Obviously, when you order in packaging, you got to order in bulks, and we store a lot of that within the storage units. And yeah, now utilities was $1,008. So that brings us to the 7,913 with a couple miscellaneous things left out. Garbage removals like 163 a month. Nothing huge, nothing crazy. So you take all those numbers, your total operating expenses is 15,221. Subtract out your gross profit, and you have a profit of 1,405. This is a slow month for us, so I'm pretty happy that we didn't go in the red. That's good for us, which means that we're operating our business a lot better. I've seen Januaries where we just knew we were slow and we just lost money. We weren't able to curtail our expenses. So this was good, and the repairs came out of left field. So yeah, that could have been up in the 2000s, which is actually good for January. Yeah, so please like, follow, share, comment, you have any questions, please let us know. And I look to continue to push these out. We're going to be doing February 2025 next. See you soon.